Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beatbox BTC series. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin dominance. So, as you can appreciate in the chart, this ticker has been ranging for almost 3 months now, just creating lower highs. So, we talked about the possibility of a potential three falling peaks, classic distribution pattern where we saw this three peaks on the chart. But we also said that price needed to have a daily candle close below 53.7%, the lows here from May 29, in order for the distribution to be confirmed, and that has not happened yet. In fact, when we started dropping from this third peak here, buyers stepped in and created a higher low on the chart. So I'm leaning towards that distribution's probably not going to get confirmed, since on how this structure is looking. I start to look this more of a little bit of a recumulation or maybe reversal from this downtrend into the upside, since you have a potential inverse head and shoulders here pattern as well. You have the left shoulder here from the beginning of May, the head from the beginning of June, and now the right shoulder from the beginning of July. And you have this descending trend line as a potential neckline for the pattern. So if this pattern gets confirmed and you get a breakout from this neckline here, we're going to check the measure move target for the upside. It will be at around a 4.2% from the neckline after you broke out. So just doing an exercise, if we break out within July, a 4.2% target would give you almost a 58% dominance. So it will be a 2-year high for Bitcoin dominance and a little bit past the strong inflection point at around 57.2%. Having that said, I think this is a strong inflection point and a resistance and support in the past. So I think that maybe you get another stop at the high and you create somewhat of a double top here from this impulse on mid-April, and maybe you start to roll over into the downside after you get this inverse head and shoulders played out. And you could say, wait, Pitbox, what are you saying that maybe Bitcoin dominance could be bearish if you're presenting a bullish setup? And I'm just thinking that because this could coincide with Bitcoin running into new highs, maybe sucking liquidity out of the altcoins, going into 80K plus, 90K, and enough frothy levels for market participants to go even deeper into altcoins and maybe bring some retail in to buy altcoins, because usually retail buys altcoins and not Bitcoin. So maybe when Bitcoin is just creating enough noise within the market, maybe people are going to step in and try to bid altcoins instead of Bitcoins and get that altcoins outperformance after this inverse head and shoulders potentially plays out. But have in mind that this is just a pattern that has not been confirmed, and you could have two failures here. First failure would be the pattern not even being confirmed at all, not even going to the trend line and getting that breakout and just turning into another lower high and just continue to trend downwards. That's one possibility. And the other possibility is that you get a confirmation of the pattern, but maybe it just doesn't play out. Patterns are just patterns; they're unique on each kind, and you don't always get the performance out of the patterns. So that's what I'm checking out on the 1 day. It's been pretty messy for the past 3 months, have we stated, but I think this is gonna come to a resolution somewhat next. And not too many people have been focusing on Bitcoin dominance because it's been boring, just chopping. And usually when 3 months goes by just within a range, then sometimes you get resolution to one side or the other. And in all honesty, it's not just the 1 day chart that makes me think that this is gonna maybe run to the upside. It's on the 3 day chart, my beloved audience, and it's what and you can see here on price, it looks almost like the same as the 1 day, somewhat the similar structure. The neckline is not as clear, obviously, but if you go to the MACD histogram, you can appreciate here that the inverse head and shoulders is quite clear on the negative momentum here, possibly implying that positive momentum is just soon to come when this negative momentum just gets taken out and you start printing positive green bars here. It could imply that Bitcoin dominance is running into new highs, or at least Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins once again. And I'm gonna tell you that patterns and reversal patterns work not only on charts about price, but I've seen them work also on the RSI and also on the histogram of the MACD. And I'll show you an example right away. But so what you can get if you get a green bar and you confirm this inverse head and shoulders on the histogram, you're going to get somewhat of a positive momentum here of a Bitcoin outperformance of the altcoins. Just remember, these are 3 day candles, so this could last for a month or so. Impossible to predict, but have in mind that it's a higher time frame than the 1 day chart. So it might take a minute for Bitcoin to start underperforming altcoins if you get the confirmation of this pattern and follow through in price action. So I'll show you why. I've seen this pattern play out before, and not so long ago, and was actually on a really important asset. It was on Bitcoin itself. You saw something really similar on the MACD here. So you can appreciate somewhat of the exact same pattern here. Just a head and shoulders. You have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder here. And as you can see, on this case, the positive momentum is also divided by negative momentum. So the structure is pretty clear, the same as on the 3 day on Bitcoin dominance. And look how long of negative momentum you had. Look at the performance of such reversal pattern on the MACD on BTC. The negative momentum actually lasted for 33 bars. So if Bitcoin dominance would have the same performance, it would be 33 bars on a 3 day chart. It would be almost 100 days of Bitcoin dominance just printing positive momentum on that case. But I don't expect to have somewhat of a long drought of negative momentum on the Bitcoin dominance chart, because this is inverted. This is a drought of positive momentum. So on Bitcoin dominance, it will be a drought of negative momentum of Bitcoin dominance going down. So that's what has me a little bit concerned, and I think you guys should keep track on Bitcoin dominance, what it does, because you do have the same structure printing to the other side, to the upside on the 3 day on the MACD. So keep an eye on it. If it gets confirmed, I'm gonna let you guys know too. Look at the positive momentum here on Bitcoin, pretty insane. It's the highest positive momentum. Wow. Look at this, chat. Bitcoin's printed yesterday highest momentum on the MACD histogram since October 2021. That's insane. So have that in mind for Bitcoin dominance. Anything can happen, but it's always good to have a hindsight of what maybe it's being cooked on under the hood here. And I thought this was a distribution, because you had this lower low here, but we haven't had that daily candle close below here, this lower low. And if you actually roll over here and just this was just some chop and maybe a bull trap, and you get a daily candle close below 53.7%, then you have a measure move target to the downside at low 50%, lower 50s, and a distribution pattern will be confirmed if you get that kind of price action. But since we didn't fall since we didn't fall there immediately, or it's been taking us some time, I think that maybe bulls are somewhat stepping in. Plus the 3-day MACD histogram structure is starting to look more like a move to the upside. But I'm gonna let you guys know what happens if we get either that setup or the other. But right now, as of right now, I'm leaning towards this being a reaccumulation reversal pattern rather than just distribution. Plus the fact that if Bitcoin's gonna be bullish, I think it's gonna have to run a little bit before having that Bitcoin dominance reversal. You're gonna want to see Bitcoin way past price discovery before that rollover on the dominance, in my opinion. And if you're concerned about your bags, your altcoin bags, I am too, because I'm holding mostly altcoins, but I'm holding and trying to hold altcoins that would outperform Bitcoin dominant, would outperform Bitcoin on that scenario. For example, Solana did a fantastic job outperforming Bitcoin for the past 8 months, and you have had a Bitcoin dominance rally. Also, some meme coins have done really good in that scenario. For example, Pepe. None of this is financial advice, by the way, just for education purposes. But you can see clearly some altcoins that have been outperforming BTC, and I will most likely focus on that kind of assets for them to continue to outperform BTC on this kind of environment if you get that Bitcoin dominance rally. And for altcoins who have been underperforming BTC, I think more than likely they'll continue to underperform. And maybe some new coins that have showed up, maybe they get somewhat of an outperformance to BTC, but I would try to focus on strength is what I'm saying, because otherwise you will be way better holding Bitcoin and conserving your SAT value instead of losing your SAT value on some altcoins that could underperform BTC. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Remember to give me leave me a comment, to subscribe, to interact with the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with your friends. I really appreciate you guys liking the channel. I couldn't be more emphatic on it, because otherwise YouTube's not gonna push my content. I wish it wasn't that way, but I need you guys, your guys' help to reach more audience and try to become more relevant. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next time.